Greetings, I'm Johnathan Pritchett, and this is Theology, Geek, Fitness. Today I am going to talk about my diet and exercise plan for when I was losing weight, and then now my current diet and exercise plan for gaining weight. You remember the last video that I did, I showed how I had lost 75 pounds, going from 220 pounds to 145 pounds for a total of 75 pounds between April of 2019 and October 2019. Now, I talked a little bit about my weight loss saga. I don't call it a weight loss journey. That's for other people. I do sagas. So in my saga, I have a specific thing that I did every day. And that's the key, to stick to it every day. So I want to go over a little bit of that. But first, I want to address something I briefly touched on in the previous video, and that is 1 Timothy 4:8. Is all of this just profiteth little? As the joke is when it comes to exercising, it never fails that some people like to give a good chuckle and quote this verse for why they actually don't do any physical exercise. But I want to look at this verse more in depth for a second. It says, for bodily discipline is, or physical exercise, however your translation translates it, is only of little profit, but godliness is profitable for all things, since it holds promise for the present life and also for the life to come. Now, this verse does not say anything negative at all about physical exercise or bodily discipline. In fact, it acknowledges the fact that there is profit in it. But this verse compares exercise with godliness. It is comparative. It is also talking about things that are only profitable for the present versus things that are profitable for both the present and the age to come, that which is eternal. But we have acknowledged that, yes, there is profit there, and you should have what profit the Bible says is profitable, even if it's only a little bit of profit. Yes, you should get that profit. But again, since this is comparative, one thing to another, suppose Paul was comparing physical exercise and bodily discipline with eating junk food or eating McDonald's or something like that. Comparing those kind of things, it would be exercise that was profitable and holds more promise, even just for the temporary life, than eating a bunch of McDonald's every day. So you got to keep these things in context, keep these things in what is being compared here. So, which do you think would be of little profit if Paul had decided to talk about physical exercise versus eating junk food? Well, obviously the junk food would be of little profit. There'd be some profit there. I like eating junk food. I like eating McDonald's. Not knocking either. The problem is when you just, that's all you eat, you end up looking like I used to. So those kinds of things, junk food, McDonald's, fast food, those things are cheat day kind of things. Those are very rare occasions for me to go eat that food. But when I do, I like it. And there is profit. It makes me happy. It makes me full. I feel good. It tastes good. All of those wonderful things. But you know what? Compared to exercise and a proper diet, it's only a little profit. But there's way exponentially more profit in exercise and bodily discipline for this life. So, yeah, this verse is not a verse to even make a joke about why you don't exercise, and it's okay for Christians to be, in some cases, very unhealthy. But this gets deeper to an issue about whether it's a sin to be overweight or unhealthy. And, of course, I want to say on the face of it, no. It's not necessarily a sin to exist in your body the way your body is, however your body is now. If it's fit or if you're overweight, that's not a sin. However, certain lifestyle behaviors can cause you to be overweight and unhealthy, and those behaviors could very well be sinful. Laziness is a sin. You need to go to the ant, thou sluggard, learn from its ways, and become wise. Gluttony is a sin, and my excess weight that you saw in that previous picture was from gluttony. There's no way around it. I was just overweight and unhealthy because I sat around and did very little. I mean, I did my job, I worked, but I just kind of let myself go and overeat while I did it. Now, granted, when it comes to certain health conditions, as far as illnesses or disabilities and stuff, there are certain things about our health and fitness that we cannot control, but there are places that can teach you to work around any sort of impediments that you might be dealing with. But for most cases, most things about our health and fitness are things that we can control. And to have a fit body, it's like having a fit mind. You have to work it out, and you have to put good things in it more than bad things, right? So diet and exercise, like I said in the last video, it's easy to do the things you have to do to get healthy and to get a good physique. What is not so easy is making yourself do those easy things. Now, I speak of easy as relatively easy. When you're lifting heavy and all that stuff, yeah, it's hard, but that's a good kind of hard, and it's an enjoyable kind of hard. That's why you're doing it. But making yourself go do that, and making yourself grab for an apple instead of a honey bun, that's where the challenge comes in, right? So as long as you want to do it, you can do it, and it's not that hard. So my workout routine, I was up every morning at 5 a.m. I didn't work out at the gym until about 2 months into it, but I worked out, and I tried to do 6 exercises per muscle group, and I did 3 sets of 10, and then I would do 4 ab exercises. And so Monday I would do my leg day. I think there's something to be said about doing, whenever you have a day off the next day, that's when you do leg day, if you're working out correctly, because yeah, it can kill you, but not me. I'm like, I sit on my rear end here at my desk where I'm recording this video all day, so I'm fine. But Monday was legs, Tuesdays chest, Wednesdays back, Thursdays shoulders, Fridays arms. And I know some people think you should do arms before shoulders and all that, but this is just my thing. Do your thing. But I worked out 5 days a week. I would do 6 muscle group exercises at 3 sets of 10. And then, after I was done doing all of my muscle group exercises and my ab exercises, I would do a total body workout, kind of like a burnout. I would typically choose 7 various exercises that worked different parts of the body other than the muscle group I was working. Not always, but most of the time. And I would do 2 sets of 12 of that for somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes, depending on the exercise. And then I made sure I did 6 to 8 miles minimum every day of the week, 7 days a week. Make sure that I had that many miles registered on that little heart app on my iPhone, or I didn't go to bed yet. So sometimes I would do my total body workout immediately after I finished my daily routine for the muscle group and the abs. Sometimes I would do it later in the day. And there was a shift there to where I was doing the total body exercises, the 7 exercises, 2 sets of 12. I was doing that right after my ab routine, and then I would do another one in the afternoon just to burn some more calories. So there's a kind of shift there as I collected more equipment because I was doing certain things at my office. I didn't have what I have now in my home gym, but I had some pretty cool things. So it started with resistance tubes, and I would have one for work, and I would just start doing it at the office, anywhere between 15 and 30 minutes, total body exercise. Some days I would just do it in the office without doing it after my routine. Then I would do it both after my routine in the morning, and then an additional total body thing just to blow some calories. later in the day, like on a lunch break or a mid-afternoon break or something like that for 15 minutes or maybe 30 minutes at lunch. So that was my workout plan while I was losing weight. Trying to build muscle, muscle burns fat, that whole thing. And trying to tone up. So as far as my weight loss diet goes, my diet was 1,500 calories 6 days a week. Okay, and I was eating the same things every day for all my meals except for dinner. Dinner, there would be some variety because of whatever we eat together as a family most nights, and so whatever was cooked, I had to kind of gauge. But when I was losing weight, I really didn't care about my macros. I didn't really care about anything like that so much. I was just worried about how many calories would I burn in a day and how many calories would I take in a day. And so a typical day when I was on my weight loss diet is I would have like 2 eggs in the morning or maybe a cereal bar, but I try to stay around 140 calories. I do that around 7 a.m. after my workout. Around 10 in the morning, I'd have something like an apple. And then around 1, I would have a sandwich, which is usually just 2 pieces of bread, some deli meat, a slice of cheese, lettuce, tomato, mustard, and some Miracle Whip type, generic brand Miracle Whip, low-calorie mayonnaise substitute thing. And that's what I'd eat. And then in the afternoon, around 3, a couple hours later, I would eat a protein bar, which is around 180 calories. And then dinner, I would have around 700 calories, and I would just kind of gauge it, Google whatever, if the nutrition data was on whatever that was being prepared by my wife for dinner, I would look at that, or I'd just kind of Google to get a ballpark figure if I couldn't just figure it out, and then I'd figure out what 700 calories max would be, sometimes less, I don't know. And that's what I just portion control at dinner. And then around 7:30, I'd have a snack, one of those 100-calorie snack things, or somewhere in the ballpark of 100 calories. And that was basically it, 6 days a week. There would be 1 day a week where I would just not care, but I would try not to go over 2,000 calories. Sometimes I probably did, but I tried to stay around 2,000 calories. And I wouldn't care so much if I was eating as healthy as I was, 6 days a week. But for 6 days a week, that's it, 1,500 calories. Didn't really care how I got them. I tried to eat healthy, generally what just kind of a layman's, that's healthy. I know that that's not healthy, not going to eat that. I will eat that, that seems healthy, I didn't get all specific, if you eat deli meats and they're loaded with this, that, and blah, blah. No, I don't want to hear it. I just needed something simple, and it worked. Didn't care about how many carbs or fats or whatever. Generally, it was mostly proteinish type stuff, less carbs than I normally ate, but I wasn't like trying to figure out, I got to eat a certain amount of carbs or whatever. Just calories in, calories out, burn them off, I didn't overthink it, and not overthinking it helped me better than overthinking it, I think. Just eat healthy stuff and count your calories. And if you burn more calories because of all the walking and the exercising that you take in, you'll lose weight, and guess what I did? Right? So that was it. I kept it simple. Now, this was the picture that I showed in the last video of how I've been able to pack on 11 pounds of muscle and still stay lean. And I'm still trying to get up to the 160, 165 range. Believe it or not, my current routine that I've been doing now and that I've been doing since quarantine, it really hasn't changed. The gear that I use has changed because I'm not going to the gym anymore, and in a separate video I'm going to talk more about home gym versus commercial gym and things like that. But, that's for another video. That'll be my next video. But in this video I'm going to talk about my current routine is the same, except I'm doing 3 sets of 12 instead of 3 sets of 10. And I'm, having learned a lot over the last year. I'm getting good reps. I'm getting good 1 second concentric, 1 second isometric, and 2 seconds on the eccentric. And I'm doing a lot more dedicated reps, trying to keep time under tension right, trying to keep progressive overload in my head, all of that kind of thing, trying to get between my 30 and 70 seconds of time under tension per set to stimulate growth. Still doing 4 ab exercises a day. And I'm still doing my +7 exercises at 2 sets of 12 for each exercise after my ab exercises every day. But I've cut down my cardio to 4 to 6 miles, and I get most of my cardio right here at my desk. And I am actually right now, you see me bobbing around because I'm pedaling on a pedal station. Because I don't really need to get a whole lot of cardio because I don't want to just burn needless calories. I just want to stay as toned as I can while I'm gaining mass. I've seen a lot of friends and relatives go on a mass gain and they let their physique go because they're just even eating relatively healthy. They've cut out all cardio, maybe overcheat, and they just kind of don't stay on top of that. And so they get they do gain muscle mass, and they also get a little bit flabby here and there, and their intent is to bulk up and not worry about any excess fat that comes with that, because they're going to go on a crash diet to thin up, on their cycle wherever they're at. And I'm just not going to do all that. That seems like madness. But to each their own. I get it. I know why people have been doing it for decades. That's the way you do it. But since I'm not trying to gain super duper mass, I don't think I'm trying to gain some mass, but I want to stay cut as I grow. So I'm trying to find that balance. But my workout routines still get up at 5 every day, and I walk downstairs to the home gym, and I do a muscle group a day, and then I do my abs every day, and I do my +7 exercises with various pieces of gear for the total body workout. And sometimes 2 to 3 times a week, I'll probably do some extra total body stuff here at the office. Not as much as I used to, simply because I don't want to just burn off the calories, But when you're into this kind of thing for a while, it's hard to just sit still. And you feel like you want to push something, push your body in some way. And it helps break up the monotony of, when you get your afternoon break at work or whatever, or maybe on your lunch break. But again, less, because I'm not trying to burn as many calories as possible anymore. So, but I do that during my morning workouts. And I know some people talk about, well, you're not doing anything of value after 40 minutes or so. I actually disagree. I think an hour to an hour and 15 minutes is a good workout for me in the morning. Because I'll do my muscle building exercises for the muscle group. But I also want to work on explosion and, get those fast twitch muscles going. And so sometimes I do that kind of stuff. Increase strength a little bit. That's what I use that +7 exercises for, on top of just the regular muscle building exercises and techniques. So I like to work out. I don't mind going. And yes, I'm going hard enough to be too tired for it, but I do it anyway because I enjoy it. So I don't mind going for that. Because, again, I'm not really doing a whole lot of high-intensity interval-type training and stuff. I'm not trying to burn off a lot of cardio. So I like to go for an hour, sometimes an hour and 10 minutes or whatever, just to get that whole thing in. I like to add a little bit of total body stuff after I do my ab exercises, after I've done my muscle group exercises. But still do my abs every day. So that's kind of my routine. Hasn't changed much, except for 3 sets of 12 instead of 3 sets of 10. And going for that time under tension on those muscle group exercises, and same with the abs, and then work on some total body stuff after I get done with that, and again cut down the cardio. my muscle building diet. See, I'm trying to get between 2,600 and 2,800 calories a day now to give me a net gain of calories to gain weight over time while staying fit. Now, when I want to get somewhere when I maintain, I can probably maintain somewhere around 22 to 2,400 calories, maybe closer to 24, maybe 2,500 calories, because I'm shooting for 28 most days. And I'd have to probably reconfigure that. I don't know what it'd be, but with my exercise and my, yeah, it's probably going to be more like 24, 2,500. 2,200, I'd have to do a lot of nothing to be able to get my caloric intake that low. But I'm trying to get, I don't know, 200 to 400 calories if I can over that. Depending on the day, usually average about 200 to 300 calories over. And remember, you got to get 3,500 calories to gain a pound too. So it can take a little while, but I'm trying to gain it. I'm not in a hurry. I was in a big hurry to lose weight. I'm not in a hurry trying to gain muscle mass because, once I reach that goal, I got to come up with another one. So, I try to get, somewhere between 200 and 300 calorie gain as I go. So in the mornings, I have a protein shake and 2 eggs. That's every day, except for I'll have an omelet or something on the weekends. But I try, basically on my workout days, it's a protein shake and 2 eggs. Lunch, I'm going to have somewhere in the ballpark of 600 calories. And an afternoon snack, I'm going to have a protein bar and a nutrition shake. And I just use that Body Fortress protein, whey protein stuff you can get at Walmart, and the Ensure nutrition shake you can get at Walmart, and pure protein bars that you can get at. I'm not trying to go to GNC and spend a fortune on that. And somebody can convince me I need to, but I'm fine using what I use. I'm sure it's all better than what I'm using, but I'm just investing ever so much. For dinner, I'll have about 800 calories. And I know that should actually be reversed. You should have more calories throughout the day than you do in the evenings. And I know why. And that's probably smart. But again, my family eats together in the evenings. And so I eat what's cooked. And I don't really want to have a big lunch. So those should probably be swapped for most people that don't, depending on your if you're a empty nester or you don't have kids yet or you're not even married, doesn't matter. Yeah, you should eat more of your calories earlier in the day than later, but that's not going to work for me. And then around 7:30, I'll have a 100 calorie snack or so. Now I try to pay attention more to my macros. I try to get 40 to 45% of my intake, be proteins, 30 to 35% carbs, and 20 to 25% fats. And the reason why I have those ranges is because I don't over nitpick my menu either. It's basically the same stuff every day, which I'll talk about in a minute. So I'm not trying to overdo that. So if I don't hit it perfect, I try to get my body weight plus in protein grams and all of that. But so I make sure that the foods I eat provide that. But I still, it's like I'm not gonna detail this out because I'll just go crazy. Other people can do that kind of thing where put way more thought into it or whatever. But if I get close, I'm fine. That's good enough for me. But that's what I'm shooting for. I know other people have different percentages. Fewer carbs, more protein, fewer fats, more fats. These are my percentages. These are just good, rough and ready percentages for me to shoot for, to how I get my calories and what my macros are. And that's probably not going to change unless I could pay somebody to figure all that out and fix my food for me or give me the diet. And I don't feel like spending that much more money on all that kind of stuff. So this works for me, and it's been working. Could it be better? Yeah, of course, everything could be better, but I found something that works for me, and I'm not progressing slower than I'd like to, and I'm not, you know, I'm not in a hurry either. So, just short-term goals, long-term goals, and I keep those going. So the types of things that I eat, well, I eat turkey, I eat fish, I eat chicken. Turkey's mostly the turkey meatballs. Occasionally I'll have like a patty, like a turkey burger. But it's really just chicken, fish, and turkey meatballs over and over and over again. Occasionally throw in some beef or pork, but mostly chicken or fish. And by fish I mean like tilapia, salmon, and tilapia, and salmon, and tuna, and more tuna, and even more tuna. Tilapia, salmon, and tuna. Chicken breasts, seasoned a million different ways so you don't get sick of it. You get sick of it anyway. And turkey meatballs. Turkey meatballs are great. And occasionally I'll have like a steak, or just some ground beef, or a hamburger patty, like a hamburger steak, or a pork chop or something. But it's mostly chicken, fish, and turkey meatballs every day. And I like to eat some salads. I like to eat some sandwiches, like the sandwich I described earlier. If I get hungry, eat some veggies maybe. Not a whole lot of fruits anymore. Occasional apple, occasional banana, but not a whole lot of fruits. I ate a lot of like fruits and stuff when I needed a snack when I was dieting, but I don't eat a whole lot of fruit now. I should, but just hadn't been coming into the meal plans that I've got for myself. I eat rice and potatoes, mostly rice. Probably eat rice 4 or 5 times a week, potatoes once or twice a week. And the vegetables I stick with broccoli, spinach, asparagus, green beans, carrots, cauliflower, tomatoes, lettuce, of course, with the salads, Brussels sprouts, okra, and then, of course, more broccoli. So I just keep it real simple. But keeping it real simple and getting your macros as close as you can and your calorie count as close as you can and dividing it throughout the day, eating the same things over and over, there's only so many different ways you can flavor chicken and fish, but it takes a lot of the thinking out of it, which is good for me. If it's like that's what you're eating, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. So that's what I eat, and it keeps it simple, and it's been working so far. I haven't gained extra flab. I have gained muscle mass. I've seen it work. I'm not trying to gain muscle mass quickly. I'm doing it over time. If I can do 1.5 pounds a month, that's a good month. And of all muscle mass, I'm happy. That's great. Gains are gains. So that's it. That's what I'm doing. That's how I lost all the weight, and that's how I'm building the muscle to increase my muscle mass. That's what I'm eating. That's how I eat. Those are roughly the times that I eat, and it's working for me. So if you need something like that, that's a good guide. Chicken, and then throw lemon pepper on it. One time throw Cajun seasoning on it. Another time throw Oriental seasoning on it. Another time throw some Italian seasoning on. Another time, just whatever you got to do to be able to just keep eating chicken, fish, and turkey meatballs all the time, and occasionally some red meat and some pork. So there you go. I used a site that I want to reference really quick, and it's a nutrition data site, and it will tell you what your daily activities are, and when you total all that up for your height and your age, it will spit out to you an approximate of how many calories you need to lose weight, maintain, or to gain weight, So that really, that worked for me, putting in those activities. I'll put the link in the description. It worked for me losing weight. It worked for me while I was maintaining. And then when I decided I need a new goal, I need to put on some muscle mass, I look too skinny, ripped but skinny. I need to gain some mass. I use the same website. Okay, I need to get that many calories for this much activity. Cut down on some of that cardio and gain some weight over time. And it's work. It's math. It's worked great. Is it just math on the way down, math on to stay where you're at, and math on the way up when you're trying to bulk up? So follow that math. Go to that link, enter in your information, how old you are, what your gender is, what your height is, what your weight is, and it'll tell you, what your activity levels are, and it'll tell you how many calories you're burning in a day. And whatever that number is, you need to make a deficit. If you need to lose weight, you need to add calories. If you need to gain weight, and then you need to get your macros set out. My percentages, go back to that, rough and ready, 40 to 45, 30 to 35, 20 to 25. In that range, and make sure, especially for those building muscle, you get at least your body weight plus on your proteins. Don't cut out carbs. I didn't cut out carbs for my weight loss. You'll lose weight if you just cut out carbs. I mean, that's no secret, but I didn't cut out very many. Like, I didn't consciously try to minimize my carbs because I needed that for fuel. And same thing with building muscle. You need to figure out how many carbs you need, and to be able to do the kind of intense workouts you need to build muscle. So figure all that out. Use that website. That website's helpful. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And do the math. Do a little bit of math and figure out, do some research on how many calories and grams of protein are in different things, and how many grams of fats and how many carbs and all that, and figure out your daily diet. You do it once, and then to not have to figure it out over and over and over again, you just eat the same things over and over again, and that solves the problem. So there you go. I hope you found this video helpful, and next time we'll talk about commercial gyms versus home gyms, and what's the deal with that? Why did I gravitate away, and all of that stuff. I'll look for you next time. So thanks for watching Theology, Geek, Fitness. God bless.